let's try this again. I don't know when it cut off, and that is okay. Still driving Half Moon Bay. We'll see how much light I have. I was sharing some pretty interesting news from my day with one of my sergeants after work. So what I was saying is, one of the Marines that I combat deployed with, dodged bombs with, we got a long storied history together, know each other well, we have established trust over the long period of time, and he is now my marketing director. And he already has some pretty incredible ideas on what to do here with what I'm trying to do and doing. So pretty exciting time, guys. I don't know what to say. I didn't see any of this coming at all. For anybody who didn't see it earlier, I was talking about how I'd always said I would never get on a motorcycle. I have a story about that, and I debate. I'm not real sure how I feel about telling it on this platform, but I think it's important from a safety standpoint. So I'm going to go ahead and tell the story as respectfully as I know how. So one of the reasons the people I grew up with know this story well. I won't even name the hometown, but it's in Iowa. The last time I was on a motorcycle prior to buying mine this year would have been sometime around April 1995. And I was on the back of a motorcycle with a friend, my best friend. And I'm not positive about the timeline. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. On the back of that motorcycle, there was in our small little town, there was a train track, and there was a bridge that went underneath it. And I used to have a pretty fast car with loud pipes, and I'd go ramping out of this thing because I was a little rebel without a clue. It was fun. It was damn fun. But that night, I was with my friend on the back of a motorcycle, and we went airborne out of that tunnel, probably going 50 miles an hour, I'm guessing. I don't know. And of course, I believe I was 15 years old. I believe he was 16. I could be wrong. Could be 16 and 17. He was older than me by 1 year. In that moment, I felt amazing. I was like, this is so cool. I just ramped out of a freaking tunnel on a motorcycle. Like, that's some Hollywood stuff, right? That all sounds good in theory. I was the cool kid in that moment, in my own mind. 2 weeks later, he was dead of suicide. Stop and think about that for a minute before you get on a motorcycle with somebody. I've got the clearest mind I've ever had right now, and I'm not comfortable with my girlfriend getting on the back of my bike, and now I have a two-seater because I love her and I don't want her to get hurt. So anybody who's hearing this, I would appreciate it if you could just let me know you heard the story in the comments. And I would ask you to share that story, because you could literally, very literally save someone's life. What I'm doing is fun. It's for a good cause. But it's intrinsically dangerous if you're not trained and not sound-minded when you're on this thing. I don't ride when I'm super tired. I don't ride if I'm angry. I have to be in the right headspace to get on these machines. And I'm going to say it one more time. I was on the back of a motorcycle, ramping out of a tunnel, going 50 miles an hour, going airborne like a Hollywood stuntman, thinking I was cool. And 2 weeks later, my friend took his own life. That is why I'm passionate about suicide prevention. I've been trained in it. I have been told that I've actually prevented 6 of them since then, because of the training that my high school put me through. So there's usually some good and bad things. I would have to say that's a win with a very unfortunate starting point. That messed me up for a couple of years. I went down some very dark roads during that time in my life, and my dear friends that I've known for a long time know exactly what I'm talking about. I spent an awful lot of time in that cemetery. I remember skipping my homecoming. It was a dinner before a homecoming football game. And I remember skipping that dinner. I believe it was at my friend Holly's house. And I was sitting in the cemetery next to my best friend in the ground. So the lessons to be learned here, not to be, I don't want to be sad sounding or anything like that. I'm trying to convey something important. Make sure if you get on a bike with someone, they're in a good mental place. And my follow-up comment to that is, suicide is always a bad idea. Because the emotional outfall from that, and it wasn't just in me, it was in a lot of people, was huge. Absolutely huge. So I understand the concept of bad days. I understand the concept of bad years. There's always something to look forward to. There's always someone who cares about you. So if you're in that place right now, call someone. You can call me. If you need to talk, you can message me. I will talk to you. That is what drives these videos. So on to more positive, upbeat information. Yeah, so I hired my Marine as a marketing director today. Hey, Joe. Good to see you, man. I'm at a stoplight. I can look down now. I definitely went through some times together in Kuwait during the launch of Iraqi Freedom. It was an interesting time. So I've got a guy I trust running my marketing from here on out. I will definitely be part of that process, no doubt, but he's got some pretty brilliant ideas that I'd never even considered. And I was talking to him, I was getting very emotional. Not crying or anything, but I kept getting chills and like, holy crap, this thing has some real potential. And as I put on Facebook with me and him, the picture of me and him standing up on a cliff overlooking the ocean and mountains. First thing we did after we kind of formalized that was we walked into a church that was right next to the beautiful view, and we said a prayer together. Let's make a difference together. Needless to say, pretty special couple of moments today after work. There's a saying from White Man Can't Jump. Forgive me if this is a little too edgy, but I've used this quote many times. The way I'm feeling right now is pretty aligned with a quote from that movie. The sun even shines on a dog's ass sometimes. And I happen to be a devil dog, so I guess that works. Come on, guy. There we go. So you can probably see the camera that's on my chin right now. It's a 3D camera, a GoPro Max. I've got another camera on the back of the bike, super wide angle, so you're gonna get to see the video from this, and I'll try to incorporate the audio real time, because I think this is a message that needs to be heard. And Joe, if you're still watching, I can't look down, but the video you and I are talking about is definitely going to happen. I can't promise the timing of that, because right now my creative inspiration is hitting right in the face. I've got a couple other videos that are, well, I got one in particular. It's going to be a short video, shouldn't take too much editing time. And now I have marketing help and video production help. So I got to do it right when I do it. Joe and I had a nice talk on the phone the other day. Joe's a damn good man. He and I worked together at City of Carlsbad, managing construction work. He was my mentor, supervisor, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, he's a damn good friend. And I will not talk about what we're working on, Joe. It's premature for that, obviously. So. So guys, I apologize for the heavy subject matter. You know, on one hand, on the other hand, if what I just said saves somebody, I don't apologize for anything. Because my videos are absolutely about saving lives. I do have to apologize for not having more of the view of the ocean, because it is beautiful. But like I said, I'm going to incorporate this audio into the video that's on the back of the bike and on my face right now, my 3D camera on my chin. This 3D camera has already lived a pretty storied existence, attaching itself to a prototype and trying to get run over by a motorcycle, but that's a story in and of itself. I just got passed by a BMW doing about 90. I got a favor to ask you guys, anybody who's still watching. I need to get a maintenance manual for this motorcycle for a couple specific reasons, not the least of which is I'm wearing 2 sets of gloves right now and my hands are still uncomfortably hot because of the heated handlebars. I can't find a switch to turn them off. I guess I could just reach out to the guy I bought it from, but haven't gotten to that point yet. So it's a 2002 BMW R1150R, and I'm just trying to figure out how to turn off the heat on the bars. I've looked around for buttons and nothing seems to do it, so. So I'm going to break down what's happening right now as I'm driving through this beautiful place. I really like watching movies, although I haven't done it much lately because I've been too damn busy doing this stuff. There's a movie called The Rock with Sean Connery. I'm sure most of you have heard of it. In that movie, there's a part that they say, "Define irony," and it's about the song Sweet Home Alabama, whose band died in a plane, or they died in a plane crash, and they're on a plane singing it. Well, I've got my own sense of irony right now, seeing how I'm a devil dog, non-motorcycle rider as far as most of my life, and here I am doing something that is inspired by God, as far as I'm concerned, very much so, riding a motorcycle with a YouTube channel. Define irony. Dallas the Voice. Maybe that should be my tagline. Dallas the Voice, define irony. Sometimes we just gotta laugh. But I can promise you guys this: when you start listening closely to God, different things start happening. And trust me, when He talks to you for real, you'll know. Trust me. So I gotta tell you guys, I'm very, very excited about something that I'm considering doing. I don't know if it's a good idea yet. I've got to work out some logistics. When I'm done with this job in San Francisco, I've got to get this bike back down to San Diego. I could probably have it transported for somewhere between $500 and $1,000. Or I can take a 2, maybe 3 day trip, because I don't want to ride this thing for more than a couple hours at a time. Just for safety reasons and comfort, and I've got a bad back and a busted shoulder that I need surgery on. I don't want to overdo it. Which is much different than my younger years when I overdid everything all the time. Now I'm getting smarter. It's called wisdom. And chronic pain everywhere. Thank you, Marine Corps, and stupid life decisions elsewhere. Well, maybe just fun life decisions. I really have no idea where I'm going at this point. I know I have the ocean on my right, which is fairly indicative that's west, which means I'm going south. Hell, maybe I'll end up in San Diego tonight. See how far my tank takes me. You guys can't see it, but I am quite literally riding along a cliff overlooking the ocean on Pacific Coast Highway. So this doesn't suck.